If you've ever broken down on the side of the road, you already know that roadside assistance isn't optional with your RV. It's mandatory. One blowout, one breakdown. Having two vehicles towed separately can cost you months of savings if you aren't properly insured. A lot of new RVers assume their major carrier's roadside plan will cover them. Most of the time they don't. RVs are heavier, longer, and require specialty tow trucks. Your major insurance company is likely to cover only part of the bill. There are weight limits, mileage limits, and they probably don't tow the vehicles opposite directions, one to the mechanic and one to the campground, of course. In talking to my State Farm agent, I was confident my RV roadside was trash. She didn't know the language and was extremely vague about the coverage. However, the cost of this insurance is the price of a candy bar each month, so it doesn't hurt to keep it as a plan B just in case. RV-specific roadside plans like Good Sam and CoachNet are companies that speak our language. They understand that our vehicles and our circumstances aren't normal. They understand that we may have two separate vehicles that need tows in different directions, and that we may need a lot of mileage to make that happen. After all, RVers like us are pretty good at breaking down in the middle of nowhere rather than someplace convenient. Here was my first tow, fairly early in my full-time RV career when the computer got fried. It was in the middle of the desert, about 40 miles from Quartzsite. The driver was well equipped, putting the van on the flatbed while putting the camper behind it. They dropped the camper off at my campground and then went a completely different direction to park her with the van. I had Good Sam at the time, and while I did have to wait 2 hours for the driver to be dispatched, it didn't cost me a penny. A few years later, I had a breakdown in Tehachapi, California. This time, I'd at least made it to my campground, and this was the first time I was a little concerned with Good Sam's service. They wanted to take me to a mechanic in Tehachapi, but when I called the local shops myself, none of them could work on my vehicle for another week. I insisted they get my van down the hill to Bakersfield. They eventually obliged, but it took about 3 days. That's when I started reading the reviews about Good Sam. Now, I'm not here to muddy Good Sam's name. You can do your own research and read the reviews. And I've had mostly good experiences with them, but if I had actually been stranded, this last situation could have been kind of disastrous. No harm, no foul, but suffice it to say, I did end up making the switch to CoachNet. Once again, I had the camper dropped off at my campground and the truck taken to the mechanic. And just like the first couple of tows with Good Sam, no charge. And so far, I'm very pleased with CoachNet. Their basic plan is comparable to Good Sam's, and based on the reviews I've seen, the reputation seems to be quite a bit better. Either way, the most important thing is this. Make sure you're covered by RV-specific roadside assistance. Guys, I'd love to hear some of your experiences with your roadside assistance. Please share them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. This is imperative for my channel's growth and to ensure I can continue producing content like this. Next, please check out the description page. Not only have I included links to the resources mentioned in this video, but also the discount camping memberships that I use almost on a daily basis. Last but not least, I actually demonstrate how I personally use these memberships each and every month in my newsletter, called the Rivercat Report. I share my day-to-day camping expenses from the previous month, add in the cost of my monthly dues, and show you exactly how much I'm spending on campsites each month. The newsletter also includes storytelling, other valuable money-saving resources, and my upcoming video schedule. You'll also gain exclusive access to videos before they're even launched. The newsletter is free, so be sure to sign up today so you don't miss a single one. Alright guys, that's all I got for now. Safe travels, and I'll see you next time.